One of the things I've always wanted to develop ever since I was younger was the ability to handle a weapon, drive fast cars, fight, protect myself and my family. And I believe that the world we live in is changing. Inflation's stealing from the poorest people in society, and the poorer people get, the harder life gets for people, the more crime there is. And we see that all over areas in London where violence and knife crime are increasing, robberies of luxury watches. And I feel like people are losing the ability to protect themselves. They have this sheep mentality that's been trained into everyone from when they're in school to just let things go. Oh, insurance will cover it. Yeah, there's no point in getting into a fight about that. You can't fight back. Don't punch him back. Tell a teacher. All of that stuff, I think, although you shouldn't go out looking for violence and looking for trouble, it's made a generation of people that are easy prey, that are sheep, that wolves can come along and they can take from very, very easily. So this entire video is about what I'm doing in my own life to become big and dangerous, a real life James Bond, and use that power that you discover for good, which is why I'm wearing this military shirt. It's not something I'd usually wear, but I've just been doing gun training, basic defensive handgun training, assault rifle training, and I'll run you through why I'm doing these things and how you can get into it as well and the skills you need to master. But the first thing I wanted to show you was just a video about the sheep, the wolves, and the sheepdog.
There are three types of people in this world: sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. Now, some people prefer to believe that evil doesn't exist in the world.
I think that happens a lot.
If ever darkened their doorstep, they wouldn't know how to protect themselves. Those are the sheep. And then you got predators. They use violence to prey on the weak. They're the wolves. And then there are those who've been blessed with the gift of aggression and the overpowering need to protect the flock. These men are the rare breed who live to confront the wolf. They are the sheepdog. And we're not raising any sheep in this family. I will whoop your ass if you turn into a wolf.
Wayne.
But we protect our own. If someone tries to fight you or tries to bully your little brother, you have my permission to finish it.
The guy was picking on Jeff.
Is that true?
Yes, sir. Yes, he was.
Did you finish it? Well, then you know who you are. You know your purpose.
Now, that is basically what I'm talking about here. The sheep, the wolves, and the sheepdog. In society, the problem with the way we are now with social media is people do not think there are wolves and predators out there. They think the world is completely safe, and it's just not true. Now, there's a couple misconceptions about being a sheepdog. You might think to yourself, I'm a sheepdog, I'm a protector. And I don't think we are, or me personally, I don't think I am a sheepdog. I'm not interested in protecting all of society. But I am interested in protecting myself, my friends, my family, my clan, those in need, children, women. But I'm not interested in protecting all men. I think there's a common misconception sometimes to be a sheepdog that protects everyone in society. You're the protector, you're this vigilante hero. This is not necessary. The mission is to keep yourself safe, your friends safe, your family safe, and those in need around you, women and children. Other men that you don't know really are not of a concern to you, and you need to look after yourself and your own clan. And you need to use the power of becoming dangerous, becoming well-equipped to deal with difficult situations, and you need to use it for good. And this video will give you some of those skills to work on and master to become that kind of person. I believe that every man should become a military-trained civilian. Now, I massively respect the military and the fact that they are so disciplined, highly trained. There's so many amazing elements of joining the military and doing military service, and I have huge respect for the guys that undertake that, and most people massively underestimate how difficult it is to pass military training at a high level like the Royal Marines. It's incredibly difficult training that I think every single man could use and benefit from in his life and become stronger in all aspects of his personality. Now, the problem is most people don't want to become military. They don't want to join the army. They don't want to be in the military for whatever reason. They don't want to kill. They don't want to go out and fire guns at other people. And that's understandable. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be military trained. I think in the world we live in, you now have access to such good training, which I'm going to tell you about, that you can become military trained and just use it to feel more like a man and look after yourself, your clan, your family. A very good friend of mine, you've seen him on this channel before, probably my best friend, I would say, from when I was young, has joined the Royal Marine Commandos. And I've been talking to him throughout his training, and he's going through that, and he's doing an incredible job so far. And Nico, who you've probably seen, Notorious Nico in the New Elite, is a friend of mine who is ex-Norwegian Special Forces. You see a huge difference in mindset in guys that have been through military training, and I don't think it should be just something that guys that go into the military experience. I think a civilian guy that wants to do well in business and his life and his relationships can also benefit from this kind of training. But before we get into this, before we get into the training, becoming lethal, becoming big, becoming dangerous, there's a part that's far more important than all of this put together. There's a quote here by Sir James Glover. He's a British Army general. A man of character in peace is a man of courage in war. A man of character in peace is a man of courage in war. Character is a habit, the daily choice of right and wrong. It is a moral quality which grows to maturity in peace and is not suddenly developed in war. The conflict between morality and necessity is eternal, but at the end of the day, the soldier's moral dilemma is only resolved if he remains true to himself. What I take this to mean is that you do not have to wait for disaster, for war, to show your courage. Courage is shown by being a man of character in peacetime, and every single one of you can become that. And the way that we do this is we begin with our creed. We start with a creed. You can't stand for anything, and you can't really make conscious good decisions about how your life is going to be without first having a creed that you live by, a set of rules that keep your life on track and in order. This is the code of honor of my private network, the New Elite, over 300 entrepreneurs around the world with a massive focus on becoming the best man you can be and leveling up with your brothers around the world and using the power of brotherhood to get to that next level, speaking with guys that are ahead of you in business, ahead of you in physique, ahead of you in training, ahead of you in money, ahead of you in networking, and using their combined skills with the accountability of having those people around you to become the best version of yourself. And we live by these rules. Tiredness does not exist. That's one that really helps you get rid of complaining in your life. Tiredness is actually a mental construct. 99% of the time, you are like 30-40% done when you start feeling tired, and all you really needed to do was push through that tiredness to unlock another level of power. And that's something we really try to hammer home to people, is you often need to go harder and not rest. That's usually the way. Overtraining doesn't really exist unless you're doing 6-7 hours training a day. Even then, speaking to my good friend who's training for the Royal Marine Commandos, they're sleeping 2 hours a night. They're training 14 days on the trot, crazy fucking marches, being up all night, doing watch, cold, wet, training non-stop all day. They're still doing their thing. It's not ideal, but it makes them mentally very, very tough, which is important. So your 1 hour a day training in the gym is not going to be overtraining. I will protect myself, my friends, loved ones, and family, people that you care about. You've got to understand that your mission is to stay alive, to provide for your family, and provide for those that you care about. Your mission really is not to save any random civilian or be this vigilante hero. Your mission, it's up to you. Maybe that is what you want to do, in which case you can make your own creed. But for most of us, it's really to provide to our family, live fulfilling lives, and have a good time with those that we love. And you've got to remember that when you're in situations and when you make your decisions. I never give up. Life gets exceptionally hard for every single person, no matter where you are on the spectrum of hard. Hard's relative, right? So if you've lived a life that's especially hard, something really hard might happen to you, but it feels the same as just something a little bit hard happening to someone who's quite weak. So we all experience, I believe, the same levels of hard in our life. And your key to this, no matter what level of hard you're facing, is to never give up. That when you are in those dark times, you should actually be quite happy, because it means that a good time is on its way. When you're in those dark periods, it should be quite comforting to you to know that you're in those periods of time, because it means that good is coming in your life as long as you don't give up. I'm disciplined, physically and mentally tough. It's a huge aspect of being in the New Elite, is being disciplined, and just being a man in general. It's doing things that you know you should do when you don't want to do them. I'm an expert and a professional. To get the idea of being sort of a boy or a kid out of your mind, and to commit to becoming an expert and a professional in all that you do, I will keep my mind and body clean, alert and strong. This one, has undertones of really staying away from things that alter your mental state, keeping yourself in good condition and not abusing your body as some of us often do, and I often have done in the past. I win or I learn. My hardest times will be my most valuable lessons. You enjoy the process. That's one thing we say inside the New Elite is focus on the process. Do not focus on your results or what you're looking to get or the money. Focus on the process and really commit to that, and everything else will take care of itself. I act with courage when I'm scared is super important, because most people think that brave people, courageous people do not feel scared. And if they don't feel scared, then eventually they'll be courageous. Courage is being scared and doing the right thing anyway. So you should find times when you're scared as a beautiful gift to show your courage. That's what you can do. Show courage to yourself and those around you. Even if being scared is like you don't want to do sparring for the first time and you're deadly scared of going to sparring, but you go in there and you do it anyway. That showed courage, and that will work that courage muscle inside of you to make you a more courageous man, a more admirable man. Now, once you've got your creed down and you know what you're standing for and what you're fighting for in your life, you need mental toughness and fortitude to make those things happen. The number one ingredient for success, in my opinion, is your ability to stay focused and positive through difficult times and never give up. Most modern men give in far too easy to that voice in their head that tells them to give up. And you might have had that before. I certainly have, where you listen to the excuses that your mind gives you. And that's mental weakness. That is what's going to hold you back from getting everything you want in your life, is giving up when that voice tells you that you need rest, when that voice tells you to not do that today, that maybe you need to do something fun, or that you need to have a drink, or you need to hang out or play video games. It's that voice that really is the biggest evil in your life and is stealing away everything you desire, is that mental weakness in your head. And I'm going to teach you a way to start defeating that mental weakness. This was the New Elite post 5 a.m. beach run and military circuit on the beach when we did a mastermind in Koh Samui in February. This was our February mastermind. And it was just absolutely incredible when guys get up together, wake up at 5 in the morning when nobody wants to. Guys probably gone to sleep about 2 a.m. So there's 3 hours of sleep. Most people say you can't even run on that. We're up, everybody's there in good spirits. They hit a super hard run on the sand. About 8 or 9 kilometers on sand is pretty grueling for guys that don't regularly run. And you get it finished together. There's that real struggle in the morning, and you get that finished. Then you're carrying each other up and down the beach, doing a circuit, and then you go for breakfast together. And that day, I remember, we did that every day. We're at the mastermind, but that first day, after that, we're in lessons all day, learning about how to improve your business, personal brand, mental toughness, all that sort of stuff. And everyone had deadly focus. Even though they had 3 hours sleep, even though they were physically exhausted, it's racking up those wins early in the morning that leads to this mental toughness and a real confidence in who you are as a man that makes you more dangerous and more successful. So mental toughness training, people think has to be super advanced, but I'm going to give you one that is super simple. This will help you stop giving up, stop choosing comfort, and it will give you your self-belief back in as little as 7 days. 7 days on plan and you'll get your self-belief back. It sounds like a scam, but it's free. It's not a scam. You can just use this. Set a wake-up time earlier than you currently wake up, and wake up at that exact time every day. Do not hit snooze for 7 days in a row. For me, it's 6:30 a.m. That's my chosen time on that 7th day, man. When you get up to that 7th day of just waking up the same time, bang, 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 every single day. For someone like me, no one tells me to wake up, right? I could stay in bed all day if I wanted to. I have no immediate tasks. I work for myself. I've done very well. My discipline is more important than ever. And without this, without gathering these small wins, I start to feel really sluggish, really shit about myself. So I wake up 6:30 because that's earlier than what I used to wake up. If you currently wake up 6:30, try waking up at 6. Up to you. Followed by 30 minutes cardio in the gym. I either run or I go on the bike, and then I'll hit my workout. Just racking up wins in that morning. Read 10 pages of self-development in the morning as well after you've woken up. Followed by 30 minutes cardio and gym. You've got the good ideas in your brain. When you're doing your cardio, you can even listen to audiobooks as well. That's going to massively help you. Just put positivity into your mind and increase your mental toughness. If you're struggling with discipline, Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink is an amazing book for that. And you could listen to the audio of that every morning, waking up early, getting down the gym, put that audio book in, hit your run, hit your workout, and then you get back and you eat your 5 poached eggs and you get ready for your day and smashing your targets in business and work. And that it really does start to build this confidence. Now, after that, life isn't all about training and fitness and all that sort of stuff. That's a small part of the day that you have to take care of. It's actually pretty boring after a while, especially for someone like me. I've been training since I was 14. So after a while, that's not really that important, but you have to use discipline to get it done. And what's important for me is completing the top 3 priorities on my to-do list, which means work stuff, revenue generating, profit generating activities, the top 3 for the day. If you can just do this for 7 days, set a wake up time and stick to it. 30 minutes cardio followed by your hard gym session, and complete the top 3 priorities for the day on your to-do list and make them good priorities, not fucking taking a parcel to the shop, not doing the laundry, real profit generating activities, the creation, whatever you need to do inside your business or job to progress your life. If you can do that for 7 days, you will see a massive change. You will probably get more done in that 7 days on track than you've got done in the whole previous month. And I'm a testament to that. I've done this over and over again. I've had months I've completely wasted. I've had weeks where I've done 2 months worth of work because I've been disciplined and on track. And that builds your mental toughness, your resilience, and it builds your confidence in yourself. I'll add a little caveat here, just a bit of advice to you guys. If you let your sleep go when you wake up early, let's say you start getting 5 hours sleep a night, 6 hours sleep a night, and you think you're okay, I guarantee you will forfeit this challenge. You will go back. You'll have a cheap meal, or you'll go out for drinks, or you'll slip into an old habit. The less we sleep, the less mental resilience we have, the less mental discipline. It takes a lot more discipline to do the right things when you're tired. So just an advantage for you would be make sure you go to bed early enough to get 8 hours sleep, and this will be easy. The less sleep you have, the harder this will become, because you won't be as mentally resilient. You won't have as much discipline. I've noticed normally when I break a program that's been making me feel really, really good, if I end up breaking a program, it's because I got low on sleep, and then weakness crept in the back door, and I'm back to square one, and I have to boot it out again and start again, which is okay. I mean, anyone that tells you that doesn't happen, I personally think is lying. But just make sure you recorrect and get yourself back on track. On to the next one, becoming big and dangerous. You should be able to use weapons. Weapons handling and self-defense. I believe most men don't feel happy in their lives because they don't do enough man shit. They don't do enough stuff that men were meant to do. They don't ride trucks or fast cars or bikes. They don't shoot guns. They don't get women. And they live an internet life, or a drained life, a life of quiet desperation, most people say, in the 9 to 5. There's no adventure. There's no mountain climbing. There's no danger. There's no element of survival that's needed. And there's no ability to be that protector and provider that's ingrained in all of us. And I think learning weapons handling and self-defense is a fantastic, safe, productive way of getting that kick that you need as a man, that makes you feel happy, whilst also giving you an amazing skill that increases your confidence. Civilian men should be military trained, I think so, because that gives much less ability for the wolves of society, the predators, the criminals, to do crime. At the moment, we just rely on the police, but the problem is there's so few police to look after society. If there was more strong men, strong, lethally military trained men, we'd have far less crime, because we could self-police, and criminals would be more afraid to rob people. And I think that's good for everybody. If a man cannot protect himself or his family, it has massive mental consequences if you get taken advantage of. So there was a guy recently, a horrible story, really sad, in London, of a guy that got robbed for the second time, got robbed in London. His watch shop got robbed, and it hadn't been protected adequately against robbery. And the poor guy killed himself. Rest in peace. But that's the kind of extreme consequences that can happen to a man that feels emasculated by not being able to defend himself and his property and his family. Don't let that be you in your life. That's why I believe a man should be military trained. It makes everybody better and more comfortable with who they are. This is me just getting my defensive pistol basic qualification done. It was really good, man. Really enjoyable. Gave me a good kick, and I got it done with a perfect score. I'm quite the marksman. And I'm going back tomorrow, actually, to learn weapons training with an AR-15. And then I'm going to a week-long military training camp in undisclosed location to continue my training. And so I'm taking this very seriously. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm not just saying it and not doing it. It's something I'm doing, and I'm feeling good doing it. So I want to pass that on to you. So weapons handling, where to start? I was thinking about learning how to fire a gun and use one for self-defense for a long time, because I thought it was interesting. I've always wanted to be a James James Bond kind of character. I think that's awesome. I think most men really admire that. But I didn't know where to start, and it really is as simple as, step 1, type in defense and firearms training in your local area. Step 2, book the basic weapons handling class. It's actually way better than expected. I thought, oh, it's basic, it's going to be boring, it's not going to be good. We did like move and fire, multiple targets, tactical reload, emergency reload, double tap. There was a lot of firing, a lot of learning, a lot of theory, but also a lot of practical, and it was really enjoyable. So just book the basic Glock 19, Glock 17, weapons handling, pistol, firearm, basic class, and get yourself over there, and everything else will start to take care of itself. You'll work your way through the courses, and you'll feel more comfortable around live ammunitions and guns. It'll just make you feel better as a man. Now, this is going to do a few things for you. If you've not done something like that before, it will make you nervous. And overcoming that nervousness and using a live weapon and getting to know new people will make you more confident. It will also increase your focus. I had to focus for a very long time yesterday, about 9:30 till 6. I was completely focused, learning new things and shooting a weapon. You have to have coordination. You have to have discipline. You have to have situational awareness. And you have to have confidence. So that's going to equip you to make much better choices in any scenario in your life, whether that be in business, whether that be in work, whether that be in a hostile environment. You are going to have the confidence to make better decisions. The next thing to focus on is self-defense and hand-to-hand combat. Self-defense, I think that there is definitely a need to be able to disarm somebody with a lethal weapon in this day and age, especially looking at the crime statistics in London and the amount of knife crime that's happening and gun crime around the world. Now, let's be clear on this. First thing you want to do is avoid these situations. Take precautions to make sure you are not in a situation like this. If there is a way to escape with you and your family or your loved ones without having any sort of altercation, take that way out. Do not try and engage in conflict for no reason. It can go very badly. But if there is a situation where you are being attacked and you need to defend yourself, I believe that you need to know the following 2 things. MMA is a fantastic martial art. Well, it's not a martial art, but it's a combination of martial arts. And mixed martial arts are going to teach you multiple, normally Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, parts of boxing, wrestling, all things that you need to be a well-trained martial artist and somebody that can defend themselves. I did this about 20 years old. I started training MMA, and I did a year, and I had a fight that I won. And it completely changed my confidence, my ability to defend myself. In that same year, for anyone that knows my story, I was living in a bit of a crack house, really, with some pretty unsavory characters that would come and go. And I had to defend myself multiple times using hand-to-hand combat in multiple fights, even one where I was attacked with a crowbar because I used to live a life that was pretty unsavory, pretty nasty. MMA was absolutely fantastic. That ability to wrestle, most fights end up in a grappling scenario. Most of my combat scenarios have been one-on-one in the house with somebody that I actually know that's maybe gotten a bit too drunk or is starting to become aggressive. And most of those fights end up on the floor. They end up in a grappling scenario when knowing wrestling and a bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is super important. But I've also had fights that are just hand-to-hand and you don't want to go to the floor. So MMA, a couple of times a week, and then sign up for a fight and train hard for one of those charity fights. Even if you just do that once in your life, will change your entire life. Just want to give that to you. Next one is hand-to-hand Krav Maga pistol and knife defense. I've not done any of these yet. They're on my list of things to do. Learning how to disarm someone with a knife and learn how to disarm someone with a pistol. Probably never, ever going to need it. But if you do, you've got the confidence there to quickly sort that situation. It's going to give you confidence in all areas of your life. And I think it's a very, very valuable skill to have. Mastering the skills that we've gone through, there's no doubt, is going to change your life. Completely change your life. There's actually a guy who joined the New Elite recently. I'm not going to say his name, but he moved to Thailand from France. And he was a guy that was very, very passive. A super passive guy, quite skinny, not getting where he wanted to go in life with girls. And he's since joining the New Elite, has completely changed. You just see it in his face. He's more handsome, more rugged. He's put on about 5 kilos of muscle. He's learned how to fight. He's shown he's got enormous heart. He's actually got enormous heart and has the ability to fight and also take quite a hard beating in sparring, as we don't go easy. and he's hanging out with guys that are ahead of him. He's getting girls now, and he's completely changed his life just by being around a group of guys, and it's incredible to see. I believe mastering these skills, and especially if you join us in the New Elite, you click the link under this video, have a call with us, and join our network, our brotherhood. If you do these skills with a brotherhood around you, you'll totally change, and you'll totally change the confidence in your life, the way you carry yourself. You'll become far superior to the average man and to the previous version of yourself. But if you really want to be respected, I also recommend, rather than just knowing those skills, if you're still scrawny, it's not going to be as effective. Luckily, this part is actually very, very simple. It doesn't require money, doesn't require anything other than a bit of dedication and a decent program and continually getting stronger whilst having enough calories to fuel your muscles. So how to get big. These are the simple rules, 101. You should know this already if you've watched anything about training before, but I'll go over it because it really is this simple. You can go for a lot of mental masturbation with training and getting big and wanting to get better and better and learn better information and stuff. Just fucking do the basics. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every single day. 8 hours sleep per night. This one's massively overlooked. This is when you regrow. This is when your body repairs, gives you hormones, gives you testosterone, lets you grow, fixes your brain, gives you good mental health. It's like the most fucking important thing you do, and most people want to get an extra hour working or an extra hour of fucking TikTok on their phone rather than getting good quality sleep. So get your good quality sleep and stop neglecting your sleep. Train hard, 6 days a week. 6 days a week in the gym is what I do, and then put boxing and other trainings on top, gun training and stuff. I like to train myself and get a good night's sleep and make myself exhausted. I'm a young man. I have the ability to do that. Overtraining is a massive myth in life. You cannot really overtrain doing even a couple hours of training every day of the week, as we went through earlier in this video. The most important parts of gaining muscle are you increase the weights with every lift, you increase the calories that you consume compared to what you're consuming right now. My training program's linked under this video. You can see exactly how I train on a push-pull leg split. You can do it 3 days a week or you can do it 6 days a week. Totally up to you and how quick you want to progress. And just make sure you increase the weights, not after each lift. Increase the weights each week, that should say. When you start a new week, you track inside of your training program on your notes on iPhone or whatever. Track what you did last week and add an extra kilo. You keep doing that. You add 500 calories to your meals until you start, oh yeah, I'm gaining some muscle, I'm gaining some weight. You stop gaining weight, oh, add a few more calories. Very, very simple stuff, guys. Stuff you want to get your calories from. High quality protein sources, chicken, eggs, organic chicken, organic eggs, organic grass-fed beef, white rice for your carb. If you just ate those things, literally just those things, you would get big. It's not 100% the most healthiest diet in the world, just eating those things, but it's pretty good. It's much better than processed shit. Just eating those few things. Add a bit of veg in, bit of fruit if you want it, bit of orange juice here and there, vitamin C, a couple of supplements, Kingmaker supplement that I've got here for testosterone support. If you need a coffee, you could grab Alpha Grind. Links underneath, top shelf grind, best supplements in the game. But now finally, the bonus part of this video, most people don't consider this. To become big and dangerous, to become a real life James Bond, you need influence and persuasion. You've got your body and your skill set right. You've done all of that. It's now time to work on the most powerful skill that you can master in your entire life. Influence and persuasion. It can get you out of trouble. It can make you rich. It can get you laid. It can get you out of prison. It can get you a job. It can get you a wife. It can get you friends. Influence and persuasion. Think about this. The ability to speak to somebody and make them do whatever you want. If you had that superpower, if you could say something to anybody and they instantly did what you want, you'd be the most powerful person in the world. Influence and persuasion is a smaller version of that. Is a smaller version of being able to say things to people and getting them to do whatever you want. And I don't want to go 100% into this right now on all the things about influence persuasion I've learned over the years. I'll do another video on that. But I just wanted to leave you with another incredible resource that you can go into and get another massive skill set that will increase your confidence. One of the most powerful training resources on influence persuasion in high-stakes situations is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, who was an ex-FBI negotiator, counter-terrorism negotiator. And a lot of the guys in the New Elite have read this book. We've all thoroughly enjoyed it, so just wanted to pass that one on to you as an ending to this video. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you want to join us in the New Elite, check out the link below. Click on it. Book a call with one of my team, see who we can connect you with, see what we're all about, learn about our meetups around the world, learn about what you stand to gain by coming into a powerful brotherhood full of over 300 entrepreneurs around the world. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you on the next one. Whoop-ow!